then I would like to say Juno. It is Thursday night. Do you know what that means?
No.
Of course not. It is time. It is time for the greatest podcast in professional wrestling, the Stardom Fan Podcast, where we cover the only wrestling that matters, Stardom. My name is Mark, and with me today is, oh, I got to point down,
Is Pineapple Juno the leader
Pineapple
of
Juno.
Club Venus? And
And
today, Mark, what do you want to talk
yeah,
about?
man. Well, what do you guys want to talk about? Well, as we record this,
Star,
February 8th,
star.
2024,
Yeah.
the year of our Lord.
Yeah, there was something like tragic that happened recently.
Tragic. Like
Like,
I said to you, I'm like, we're having a good time so far, and I wanted to keep the good vibes, and I didn't want to bring anything up that was going to bring us down.
but we have to talk
Something
about it. Like, Stardom will never be the same.
like what happened just like recently is shocking. Like I hold
Just,
on in a second.
it's like we're going. I mean, take a little bit of the bubbly here, and then you can just break the news.
All right, here we go.
All right. Ugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've heard, but Saya Kamatani lost to Micah clean in the middle.
Ugh. And I think Stardom might be dead, but Saya Kamatani loses to Micah, clean in the middle. What is that about?
L- First of all, Saya Kamatani losing in singles matches happens once, maybe twice in a lifetime. Like, I've only seen one eclipse, and then I'm about to see another being in Buffalo this year. Like, two eclipses in my lifetime. That's about how many times I've seen Saya Kamatani lose a singles match. And she lost another one. Oh, not good. Oh.
Is there anything else you want to talk about that pay per view?
Yeah. Well, might as well touch on a few things. So we're talking about obviously Supreme Fight, one of the a great show. They put on another great pay per view. It is worth touching on that I was sort of brainwashed by super producer in training Richardson that Starlight Kid was going to beat the real effing cool Sariano.
I
To
know. I
where a
even.
bet was made. A bet was made, Juno. If
Yep.
Sayori lost to Starlight Kid, I was supposed to smoke this hat. Ladies and gentlemen,
I thought
this
you're.
hat is still intact.
I thought you were supposed to eat it.
I was supposed to eat it, and then I thought to myself, that's impossible. I could probably smoke it. I mean, you can smoke anything, right? It's made of hemp, I think, at least like 50%.
Put it.
Get you a little high. So you brought up the Supreme Fight card, and I guess it's worth bringing it up real fast. I mean, if Talk for Glory can cover it, the least Stardom fan can do is cover it.
The stuff that matters. I didn't watch the I usually don't watch these opening matches because they just put them up for free on YouTube. But then they don't
Yeah,
put them
so they
on.
like don't end up on the feed. So
Yeah.
quite frank, this is why. So we made a joke obviously with the opening, and you said something about Stardom dying. I mean, I don't know anything about that because
R.I.P.
like if it doesn't happen on Stardom World, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I don't give a fuck who's booking. I don't care who Vince McMahon is selling. Like all I care is about the product that's on television. As long as that's still good, I'm still a fan.
Die Rocky Die.
That's actually pretty cool.
Saya Ida Wingori actually versus what a weird team. You don't see Saki Kashiba just in regular tag matches. And Ami Soroi. Is it the only thing I want to mention about this is I'm just like, what are they trying to do with Hanan and Ami, where they're just constantly just trying to fuck each other up in like tag matches that mean nothing. Like they're never for titles. They're never for like just anytime they see each other, it's just like on site. Like Stars doesn't have beef with God's Eye.
Ami is gonna kick the shit out of Haddad. Like
She
it is
is
so weird.
she is gonna kick the shit out of Hanan.
Like this, and this one seems to for some reason be playing out Do you remember this one? It keeps going. Like there was a like a be. Do you remember Julia and Hazuki hating each other? Like that happened, and then it happened again, and then a year later it happened again. This
Yeah.
Ami and like fucking Hanan thing, they haven't forgot about. Like they hate each other, and then they hate each other more, and then they hate each other more. And like they actually,
To
the
the
clip I,
point
I want to
to
play
the
you that I'll play
yeah, I
later is like Hanan literally challenged all of God's Eye. He's like, "Fuck all you! I want your belts." Maya, you want to help me?
I to the yeah, to the point where like God's Eye beat Stars in a tag match and Mirai pinned Hanan and Ami was still pissed even though she won and Hanan lost. She like rips the mic out of I think Mirai's hand and says, "Hanan, next time I'm going to be the one to kick your ass."
It's fucking great, dude. So fucking good, them two.
Oh man. Or was that might Cinderella finals? Ami versus Hanan? That'd be pretty cool.
Mirai versus Ami.
Mariah versus let's have Mariah. Yeah, I want Mariah to be 3 times Cinderella.
Dude, if it's not Hanan this year, okay, you know what? I actually like Ami. I like the idea of Ami, but I'll tell you what. Like my original thought, if it's not Hanan, a three-peat of Mirai is fucking awesome, dude. Fucking awesome. And then like if the theory of Sayori being freelancer, she needs to drop the belt eventually, and Mirai picks it back up, that's fine. That's fine for now.
Yazuki versus Rina. I don't know if you want to talk about anything in this match. The only thing I thought of was after the match because Rina puts on a total clinic and just teaches this what the hell does she call her? Rena's so funny. If you're older than her, you're an old hag. If and she's like 16. So if you're younger than her, she's like your elder and she's gonna teach you a lesson. But Yuzuki is she also does this weird thing because Yuzuki's like a rookie, so she's basically saying I'm like your elder anyways, and I'm gonna teach
Well,
you
yeah,
a she's like I'm gonna teach you a lesson, kid.
yeah, that was fun. That was funny too. That wasn't lost on me. It was first of all, the match is great. Yuzuki's an amazing rookie, and Rina is well, Rina. But yeah, that was funny. So like, yeah, the kid, Rina is like basically like, all right, well, you have a year experience. I'm the senpai. And it's I can't believe they didn't do this at Queendom. Like they put the Futures belt on the show. Why wouldn't they? The Futures belt is a really sort of important belt. Like it's pretty good.
It's probably one of their best belts. It's probably up there with the white belt.
Well, it's interesting too because like it's not just like the kids that go for it. I mean, Lady C has tried and lost 8 times. I mean, you could be like
You could be
up there.
does Rina pull a new Tommy, or is she just like I'm done defending this thing and just I want a better toy and just goes for like a red or white belt? She's getting up there
There's-
on
I
Hanan's
was gonna.
defense record, and she's getting up there on Hanan's time as champion
I was just gonna say, does Rena?
as far as the futures belt.
Well, exactly. Does Rena break Hanan's records that Hanan shattered?
Well,
Um,
I believe Hanan has the like 10 defenses. Rina's at 5, and then as far as days are concerned, like I think it might be Utami, who just gave the belt up for like something better when she was the big rookie.
I would love if, since Hina's sort of a good guy too, if it came down to like number 9 and Rena's like going for her sister's legacy, and Hina's like, and Hanan can't defend it because she aged out, but Hina's like, I can defend it. But then Rena still wins and then beats Hina and then becomes the greatest futures. There's a world where Hina's like the greatest futures champ. That could happen.
Or Rina. The best part about this match was after it was over, and Yazuki, you know how it goes.
Yuzuki's actually really cool. The best part was like
Like
the match, man.
nah, after was better. The adrenaline dump that happens after a match when they're usually like hugging and crying, like like after already beat the shit out of each other. What are we gonna fight again? But Yazuki, she loses the match. Rina comes over and like she wasn't even talking shit. She went over to like shake her hand or something, and Yazuki just slaps the shit out of Rina and left.
Is that when you texted me at 3 in the morning? Yuzuki is that bitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I woke the
That's
whole
amazing.
I woke the whole house up with that. You have anything to say about this next tag match? Well, EC's pretty cool.
I skipped it.
Yeah.
Oh, finger banging Lady C. That's actually a good team,
It is a good team.
but I don't remember it.
Everything I remembered about that match ends when Lady C gets pinned in the middle by Momo. What the
That's the
fuck?
way. I mean, that doesn't upset me.
It's like she has to carry every team she's on. She has to like break up every pin attempt too. That's exhausting. Like you ever notice that? Like Lady C is always getting pinned. I'm like, well, yeah, because she's got to use all her energy up diving into the ring to save everybody else. Mina, this match is just Mina versus Tam Nakano. Tam Nakano's return match from injury. Technically, it's a
Oh, that
tag
was
team
huge,
match.
dude. Her coming back was so fucking good, and she's supposed to be friends with fucking these all these girls. They weren't being fucking nice to her. Mina wanted to break that leg, like for sure. She's like, oh my god, you want to talk about working the leg? Woo.
Put your ass back on the shelf, old lady.
Oh god.
Yeah, it turned into just being basically another rematch, like a white belt rematch between these two. And then
Mm.
Pineapple and Waka were just there for the show. Yeah, but it was a really good match. Those pay per view was pretty good. Your two,
Yeah, overall, yeah. I mean, when they put on a big show, there wasn't a dog. This was a really good one.
mm-hmm. Your two favorite wrestlers were up next.
Dude, well, this has happened more than a handful of times where the match of the months just every now and again they end up on a house show because house show can have good matches too. But dude, if three competitors for match of the month didn't come out of here, Hazuki and May Sierra wrestled like both their hair was on fire. Hazuki is not going to do another singles match to the 5-star, and she might even fake an injury. Like she likes to work hard 3 times a year, and she might have done 2 matches worth of hard work at this. And I'll tell you what, both these girls, like, what was the match? 15 minutes of running around like crazy people, and none of them had a drop of sweat. Best cardio in wrestling.
It was all right.
Well, if we loved everything, there'd be no reason to be two of us if we all agreed on everything. Right? Dude, the Puzzle Girl versus Suzuki, get the fuck out of here. Just look at this. Look at the screen and tell me that's not awesome.
This next match, this is the one that was like, I'm going to fucking bed. So I'm just like, oh, what's up next? I just forgot the card. And
Oh, I
Julia
fast
comes
forwarded
out.
and went to the bathroom on this one.
Well, Julia comes out. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, I'm like, and then I forgot she's not in DDM anymore. I'm like, oh, she's teaming with Shuri. That's pretty cool. And then Mariah comes out. I'm like, what the hell? And then fucking Suzu. I'm like, all right, well, that's a wild team. And then fucking Nene and Azumi come out, and then Utami, and then Mayu. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I heard some Chris Jericho esque Nene shrieks, and I was like, I'm going to bed. Just skip this match.
You sent me 2 texts that night. One, Yuzuki
Yuzuki's,
is that bitch.
yeah,
And there is a match on this show with Utami, Maya, and Shuri, and I can't stomach it.
yeah. I think I was like,
You basically was like the 3 best wrestlers in the world. And I can't watch it because of the rest of these fucking assholes in here.
yeah, I was like, there's Shuri, there's Julia, there's Utami, there's Mayu. I'm going to
Like, why
bed.
did they even include the other ones? Give the other ones a payday if you need to, and tell them to go fucking wait in catering and let these 3 put on the match of the fucking year.
Right?
And Chris brings up, hey Chris, brings up the best part about the match is Thekla joined commentary for the rest of the show from this match on.
That was the best part of the. Yeah, she comes out looking like a muscle
No,
mommy, and
she
like,
was looking. Yeah, she. Yeah,
dude, she look.
Thekla,
You
dude.
look. No, it's important. You look up what she was wearing if you want, because she did a promo because she's not wrestling right now, getting better from injuries or something, I guess. And she cut a promo where she was just like, guys, everyone's asking what Thekla's gonna do, where Thekla's gonna go, when I'm coming back. look at me. Like, just look at me. And then she's like, there's just one more thing I need to complete this look. And then she just walked off.
Probably an SWA belt.
Fucking Mayu threw it in the trash. That is the best promo of all time. And then Thekla just being pissed at Mayu. And then she just threw my SWA belt out the window.
Everybody, like you go back years, the SWA belt was sort of throwaway. Like Shuri didn't give a fuck, Utami didn't give a fuck. Thecla was like, "This is my baby. I'm gonna sleep with it. I'm gonna rock
Yeah.
it." Like Thecla loved that belt.
Dude,
Everyone else, no one cared about that belt like Thecla. And then
that's
Mayu went and threw that belt in the trash.
she should have won that match then. Thekla was right. Because that match was because the SWA belt was the only belt Mayu hadn't won. So it was gonna be like the Grand Slam or whatever. And then Thekla, that's what she said. She's like, "You don't care about this belt. It's just another like thing you can put on the trophy case, like another thing to take off." She's like, "I sleep with this belt under my pillow. I shower with this belt." So good.
Prove it.
Starlight Kid, Soriano. This is the really fucking cool bowl. Tell me about
Dude. I
it.
don't know, I blacked out. Like, first of all, the high speed match was my match of the month. Well, I mean, this is February, so I mean, obviously it was, but it was my match of the year. And then this happened, Sayori and Starlight Kid. Oh my god! And they built to this match like they did like a WrestleMania style build for the last month. Every tag, every 6 woman, every 8 woman, it was somewhere along the lines. Sayori and Starlight Kid was beating the shit out of each other, and it wasn't just Sayori beating the shit out of Starlight. Starlight was being a little prick sometimes, and dude. This match
Yeah.
was good.
There was a part of the match where Soriano is just writhing around on the outside of the ring on the floor, and Starlight just walks up to her and starts standing on her head. Like, she's such a little bitch.
It was insane. Like it was just yeah, other than like bringing stuff up to go play by play. I mean, it lived up to everything it was supposed to be. It was 2 girls that hated each other having an amazing match. And they kicked out of all their stuff too. Like Sayori, this is what I actually thought I was smoking this hat. Sayori did her like spider bridge, double bridge, triple pin, and Starlight actually kicked out of it the first time, just not the second time.
I had you convinced you were gonna have to be smoking your hat.
Between you and Richardson, I was like, I woke up the next morning. I'm like, is anything real anymore? What's happening? Like
And then there was the main event, and that
the main
was
event was good, but the main event was the same thing. Like there was like a pay-per-view's main event. They kicked out of all their shit. The Michinoku drivers, the only thing Saya didn't bring out was the fucking Phoenix Splash, and maybe she would have won, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Saya loses clean in the middle to Micah. But if Micah's going to have the championship, I mean, and she did it right there. Right there. One match, Micah has legitimacy. Micah beating Suzu means jack shit. Micah beating Saya Kamatani, now you're a legitimate red belt champion.
it was a fluke.
Of course it was a fluke. 3 times in a decade, a person in a singles match is better than Saya for 3 seconds. It just so happened it was Micah's night.
Maybe she didn't want to win that belt. Maybe she just thought like Utami would get jealous. Maybe there's that little bit of doubt.
Was that does Micah have to beat Utami next?
Don't even put that out in the world.
I know. I tell you, well, I don't know. The old guys who used to fucking just listen to us isn't hanging out there anymore. So maybe, who knows? It's like every time we say something, it comes true.
You know what needs to come true? Utami winning the high speed and white belt, so that she could be like the only person. That's like a fascinating fact. All their belts that they have in Stardom, she's the only person that can win them all. Because the SWA belt doesn't exist anymore, and once there's only a couple people who can even win the futures belt. So that's like a little that's a little fact. And then looking back on this pay-per-view, I start to think like, well, maybe not this one. This is one of the first. All right, if you stop at is this match number 1? I think this might be match number 1. Yep.
While you're scrolling,
No, I
this
wanted to
pay-per-view
say
is
it's
go.
another case where it's like I'm gonna start watching these in reverse because I can be disappointed with Saya losing to Micah and then watch the pay-per-view backwards and end the night with Rina and Yuzuki.
Which was a good match. When it comes down to doing our matches of the month, I could see a world where one of our executive orders are to watch that match and recap it. um, what was most special about this, and I found it too because I've been really trying to keep track of match results and maybe because they don't tell stories, but they tell their stories in the ring. This was like Triangle Derby just sort of happened. New Year's Stars just sort of happened. This was the first pay-per-view since maybe Queendom that like had a story. Like Sayori and Starlight was built. Saya and Micah was built. Like you were excited for it. Like Hazuki was being a little prick to May Sierra. Like they built some. You really wanted to see these matches. They did a real good job building this card.
Yeah. And this chat has a couple good points.
Even Yuzuki, I was convinced Yuzuki. I was convinced I was going to smoke this hat by the time you guys were done telling me Starlight was going to be the new white belt champion, and I convinced myself that Yuzuki was so cool that she was. I don't know. I am such a mark. I thought Yuzuki was going to beat Rina. I thought that was going to happen.
I liked a couple of good points here. So Enigma said that Micah had a loaded fist. That could be true.
She did throw a straight punch. She probably should have been disqualified right there.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be loaded. You're not allowed to throw punches in Stardom.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Do that.
You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then Andrew, I like Andrew Richardson. He's like, Saya couldn't win because she can't carry 2 belts because she's still got a little broken wing.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's tough.
I thought it was a little suspect she didn't come out with her tag team belt. What's that about?
You when we were watching that, yeah, because like it doesn't even like Hanan and like Saida, they're proud of their shit. They'll come out with their new blood belts that get defended twice a year, no matter what they're fighting. And the world heavyweight tag team champion doesn't come out with her tag belt. I'm just assuming that got lost like in shipping or something, or lost on the plane.
I don't know. Maybe they keep them together at all times. But yeah, it was a good card.
Mayu even had her belt. Oh yeah, that was good.
Actually, you know what? That's the end.
Stardom Fan Podcast is possible because of you. Thank you all for your support, and you can follow everything we do at StardomFan.com. I'd like to thank our patrons. I'd like to thank Chicken and The Twilight Dream for being Stardom Fan fans, and Jake Ebert for being the World of Stardom Fan champion. Thanks, guys.
こんばんは。You can be the top かわいい of the cosmos。クリックアワコーヒーリンクビロー。バイポイ